game.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekly Big Gamer Small Talk. Back with another week of incredible, in-your-face, attitude, sweat-drenched. Tim got me pumped up listening to Steve Ballmer pre-show. Developers. That was the man right there, man. If you're an Xbox fan, you got to love that guy. He went to bat for Xbox from the beginning and just did a phenomenal job. There, you could arguably say there wouldn't even be an Xbox without that guy. I love that guy. He was just so passionate about that company, and I kind of still wish that he was involved, but I digress. Anyway, we've got quite a bit to talk about tonight. First thing I want to do is talk a little bit about the Division. We know that game is going to be huge. Like, originally, I wasn't a fan of it in the early alpha. It seemed kind of boring. It seems like people are really jumping on board with this game now, though. It could have a Destiny-type situation. Look, I'm not a big Destiny fan, but it's got this big following, you know what I mean? Like, even people that say they hated it or would never play it are playing it. Mooch!
Well, hold on. Why you bring me up, Crap? Let me just take this dusty off this tinfoil hat I got. I'm putting it on real quick. I got a prediction here. I really do believe that Sony moved Uncharted 4 because of the Division. I don't think they wanted to go head-to-head within a 10-day gap because every motherfucker from Destiny's moving over. You have no idea. Listen, Crap, you got to understand this. Like it, hate it, love it, never want to play it or talk about it. Destiny's got a lot of people on it. And
people like them.
And they're all leaving. They're all leaving Destiny. I mean, every son of a bitch I know not only is talking the talk, they're walking the walk. Everyone has already pre-purchased the Division, and here's the really kick. This is what's driving me crazy about it. They've ordered whatever the Ultimate Edition is with all the season pass and everything. Like, nobody's just went out and got the vanilla game. Everyone's going and spending whatever it is, the $80, the $90, and they're buying the Ultimate version, and because they want to get fully invested in this. And forget Destiny, because vanilla Destiny, we all know I just couldn't stand it. What they did right with the Taken King and bringing some people back and changing the leveling system, I always say this, okay? Most of the people that listen to this show and listen to any of the podcasts we all do, they are hardworking people. They work all damn day. They work all damn night in some cases. And when we get on, it's hard sometimes to play a 30, 40, 60, 80-hour game, or in the case of like The Witcher, a 600-hour game. It's really hard to get into that. But when you're playing games like The Division or Destiny the way it stands today, you can get on your console. In the case of Destiny, I don't know much about the Division yet. Do your daily missions, get these certain legendary marks, go back, purchase something, get your character leveled up to the next degree so you can go to the next fight with your friends, and you can accomplish all that in between 45 minutes and an hour and a half. So my point being is just that literally that's something that when you're a hard-working American citizen, you can't come home all the time and put 6-7 hours into these other games. That's what's rewarding, and I think that's why you're going to see Destiny kind of started something here, and the Division's taking the baton and running with it. So it's going to be big. I mean, I'm telling you, it's going to be massive. Now, how it does, that's up to them. That's up to Ubisoft. Well. But I think it's going to do very well out the gate.
I mean, have you guys played the new beta?
I played it.
Yeah.
What was the first one?
We're not supposed to talk about it. We're still under NDA, as crazy as that is. The beta's coming out the 28th on Xbox first. Yes. So that's probably going to be a fucking Xbox party. Phil's probably going to be playing with the community. That's just the way it is. That's the type of game that Xbox loves, is that community game that you just think about going and meeting your friends and just saving New York, because I played it. I don't care. The game's gonna be awesome. I know I don't. You can report me, but the game's awesome. It's gonna be big.
Does it have a story?
Yeah, it's just got stuff, dude. Nice music. You from New York, right? Or you've never been in New York City, Zaire?
Yeah.
Dude, it takes place on 26th Street by the tunnel. Remember the tunnel?
Where the trannies are?
Yes. It starts by where the old tunnel was, and you freaking walk to fucking. You walk with the shotgun and machine guns, and you see people like in their windows and in the city looking at you. It's crazy. You walk to Madison Square Garden, and you're in the fucking garden, and you shoot people.
The level of detail.
It's pretty good. It's nice. It's, I mean, it was like.
I mean, it got a downgrade though. It's not from what
it got a downgrade, but it still looks good. But sound is fantastic. Explosion's good. But the whole thing is that like when you find the big boss, just like when you do raids in that Destiny game, because I don't play Destiny, but I think it's the same thing. You can fight these bosses, and it was like I played with South, I think Iron Wolf, and a couple other guys the first night. We took out Rand, and we took out the boss, and let me tell you, the experience was just like holy shit.
Yeah.
Like so for me, it's going to be a huge game. Looking forward to it.
When's that come out? March.
March 8th.
March 8th.
That's not far. I mean, February being a short month.
They're doing another beta right on the 27th of this month.
Yeah, that's 28th it starts for Xbox, and then PC and the other system the 29th.
Now, what do you guys think about the marketing on this? Because Microsoft did announce a bundle for this, a $399 1 terabyte Xbox One bundle with with the game. I believe it's a game download, unfortunately.
What do you think? Again, I think Microsoft should put the sticker on the box, and I think the $400 price tag is too much. I mean,
well, when you think about this, the base Xbox One is a 500 gig hard drive for $350. For $50 more, you're getting 500 extra gigs.
They're like, come on, crap. Like I said before, hard drives are cheap as hell. You get you. I got a 2 terabyte 3.0 for $40.
Okay, but let's just say like cheap to us, right? But I mean, still, Microsoft this is budget soft. We have to keep that in mind. They're not going to go out and spend a bunch of money on this stuff right now.
But it's not even so much spending.
Well, they might get a console for Quantum Break. They might loosen the quarterly is January 28th, so I think
I don't know what the hell's going on. It's like they're squeezing the quarter.
Yeah, it's budget soft. But you had a bad quarterly last year. But I think that they could probably they would have to start getting in. I don't know if you're going to get a custom console, but for Quantum Break, make it a $349.
Do you think they're even going to advertise that game? Because I mean, how do you market that game, right? Like
Quantum Break.
So pitch me that game. Like somebody maybe that's just like a gamer, like that's looking for something. I mean, how are you going to pitch that game? Because there's like these
commercials. I mean, Microsoft, when they advertise something, when they want to, they do the damn thing. You see it on TV, you see it on the.
But is that a massive
they have
game?
shown that. Well, I think that it's one of those games. I know what you're saying, but it's one of those games that if it gets highly critically acclaimed, which has possibly, you could run a commercial saying blockbuster story, and then you show IGN with 9.5, whatever. So that's one. I think it's going to review well.
I mean, listen, again, this is what Microsoft needs, to be honest. One of the biggest problems, biggest gripes people have with Microsoft is that we get the same IPs over and over and over again. Whether it's Gears, Forza, Halo, we got it. We get it. Boom. They need something new. They need something else. They need something fresh. Okay? This is their own IP. They have to quarterback it. Have faith in your product. If you don't have faith in your product, then no one else is. So don't give me that. You're a multi-billion-dollar company, okay? You're not in Sony.
They're going to advertise. They're going to definitely advertise.
They have to. Like, if you don't have faith in your own IPs, then who the fuck is? Like, why even make the game? Why even?
Yeah, but they have a big allotment towards that.
Yeah, they do.
Well, if you think about it, though, look, this
Ashmore on it.
This game was.
It's unique.
Yes, but it is unique. But how? But is it a massive appeal?
Why would it
be? IP. I don't know, because there's
shows. It probably could sell 3 million at the end of the day.
Oh, listen to me again. Check out.
On Xbox
Microsoft doesn't have anything like that in their portfolio. They don't have any third-person action adventure. They don't have any. They invested all that money in Tomb Raider. This is your own Tomb Raider right here. So why? That's huge. You understand what I'm saying? So again, this is the type of game that you would get the people from the other console to buy your console for. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because whether you love Sony, you hate them or not, they have a big catalog of fucking. Whether they put the motherfuckers out or not, but they have a huge backlog. I mean, that's what people say. Well, why they choose the PlayStation 4 over the Xbox One because of the variety of games. You know what I mean? And this is a step in games like this, games like Scalebound is a step in the right direction. You know what I mean? You know, we get Gears, we get Forza, we get Halo.
Well, there's nothing going to be like Quantum Break. It's going to be a game that you know, the Remedy is that good where they're just going to put out a masterpiece. It's gonna.
Let me ask you guys this real quick though. All right, do you think this game would maybe have a little bit more mass market appeal if it had just regular cutscenes instead of like a show?
I don't really know much about the game.
Look, the show itself was probably something that was really hyped up when they were doing the whole like TV angle too, and now it seems like, you know, I don't know, maybe they could have.
They went with that direction, but again, if you play a game as a gamer, and I know exactly what you're saying, they could have nixed it, but they didn't.
Yeah.
If you're playing an awesome game, will you sit through a 22-minute cutscene?
I mean, people do with Metal Gear, and people have to turn their back on Metal Gear. So what the fuck is the difference?
Well, that's an excellent
I turned my back on it for that reason.
But the masses didn't. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Metal Gear Solid 5.
It'll get a docked from certain sites for sure.
10 million units, if not more, between both platforms. Again, I mean, that's not nothing to knock the game.
Zaire, you said something a minute ago, and I'm going to just go on a mini rant here. Just hear me out, guys, because it's not about, you know, Microsoft buy everything, but hear me out. Tim actually gave a valid number. You can pretty much count on Quantum Break. I would say at the end of, give it a 12-month cycle, Quantum Break will sell somewhere around 3 million copies, okay? But Zaire's question is valid as well. He said, do you think that that's going to be something that would be, when you know, they can associate with the Xbox brand? I don't think so. Quantum Break is not that strong enough of a title to be able to become. Now hear me out. The reason Sony is in the seat that it's in, okay, just in general, is because of the PS2 era. And we've all said this a number of times, and everybody that's listening knows what I'm saying. All these great games, okay, Grand Theft Auto, blah blah blah, they were only hear me again, only available on the PS2. You couldn't get it anywhere else, okay? What I listened to something, and I was reading an article, and this was really something, and it was really smart. Microsoft can come out with all the new IPs they want. They can have all the new games. Phil can spend every red cent on having 15 new IPs in 2017, 2018, and 2019. It doesn't matter. What you have to do is look at the NPD. The NPD, not the numbers themselves, but look at the chart, okay? You consistently have the 3 or 4 AAAs of the past 4 months, and then you have Call of Duty, and then you have things like Grand Theft Auto 5
still there.
Has been out since 2012 or something like that. It's still top 5 selling, okay? So hear me out. Microsoft, Phil, Satya have to sit into a room, close the door, and start looking at the ridiculous things that we look at every day before we come on a podcast, and stop with the pie in the sky shit. They need to really sit down. Now, this is where I'm not saying they should do this, but use it as an example. They should buy like a Grand Theft Auto. Now, hear me out.
Good point.
Hear me out. It won't happen, but hear me out.
Good point.
That's the only way that you can get somebody when 2 consumers that don't know what the hell we're talking about stand in line and somebody goes, I'm going to go get a PS4. No, the other guy goes, no, John, don't. What are you getting a PS4 for? Well, Uncharted, and it's everything's 1080p, and yeah, but GTA, right? Do you like GTA? Yeah, I love GTA. Microsoft owns GTA now. You got to buy it. Oh, all right, let's get GTA. Right there, the conversation's over, okay? Because a major title now belongs, like Minecraft, okay? Same concept. You can't say, oh, no, they won't ever do it. They won't ever do it. That's not really true. They did it already. They did it a year ago. They bought Minecraft. Okay, my point is that the only problem was Minecraft is from the 5-year-old to 13 age. I know there's people that are older doing it, but they're doing it as a business. Nobody that we all game with in the hardcore community is stacking blocks 7 nights a week. Okay, so like you need to go get it. And the reason I say GTA makes sense is GTA is not associated with Activision, and they're not Activision. What is it?
They're Rockstar.
They're Rockstar. They're Rockstar Take-Two. That's a breachable company to talk business with. You can't talk once like Titanfall is locked in with EA. Vincent Pella really made a deal with the devil. So like you can't storm in. They can go grab the IP indefinitely and say not indefinitely. They can grab this particular Titanfall 2 game, but they can't grab the IP because EA is gonna be like, fuck off, that's ours. You know what I mean? Like hell no, you're not touching that shit. But like they need to go grab something so that they can become what the PS2 was years ago when everything. That's why all these assholes, these ponies, these people that fight with us every day on Twitter, they fight with it because they're still locked in that mentality that, don't you remember when we had everything? We still have everything. You know, it's like Microsoft needs to go get something that has mass appeal. Mass appeal. So the quantum breaks and the scale bounds, and these are great. They're really great. But do you know that it would take 20 years for Quantum Break to become the GTA 5 of today? So that's what I'm saying and who cares? So what if it takes a couple of billion again? Once you imagine, just hear me out. You guys all would have to agree with me that if GTA 6 came out exclusively on the Xbox, that's a game changer. Is that not a game changer?
The media would eviscerate.
So it doesn't matter. It wouldn't
matter.
It doesn't matter. Exactly. It wouldn't matter.
And Microsoft would allow it on PC, and then everybody would be happy anyway.
No.
But again,
that's just throwing in another wrench into the. But the point is. And I agree. It is. That's something. But those things don't happen.
I know.
It can't happen. Microsoft did it last generation with the Granted Battles of Gay Tony.
I don't see this.
Yeah. What was the name of
They spent $50 million to get that.
Yeah. Okay.
$50 million.
But they can't. Listen again. Like he said, they opened the checkbook up to acquire Minecraft. Microsoft has the money to do it. Money talks.
Well, they bought Minecraft. You know why they bought that, right? It was for
it's like I know
there's a lot of reasons for
I didn't know it was that big until they bought it. Because now I see Minecraft, Legos, and all types of shit. You know,
that was a bad deal according to a lot of people. So,
but it made its money back already. They done make its money back. But what I'm saying is this.
But Candy Crush at $6 billion is good.
Yeah, but again, to Mooch is that you're absolutely right. You know what I mean? What you're saying is just that. If Bill was still there, if Steve Ballmer was still there, then I question. And it seems like we were just talking behind the scenes. Microsoft, to me, I think they don't care anymore about being number one. Us here on this podcast, we care more about them being number one than Microsoft does.
I personally don't care about them being number one.
Listen, we do. We root for these consoles. Like
I don't. You know what? I do.
That's what we
like the console, right?
Every week we
I do, but listen, I like them where they are.
Right.
They would not be trying. They would not be trying.
Sony again wins. They tricked the
everyone likes everyone likes.
That's just what I do. Like,
right.
That's what I do.
Why we have the crap gamers. That's why we have the next gen 720. That's why Big Game and Small Talk is here. We got to be honest here.
But I literally do not care.
Yes, you
and
do.
Do not get anything. No, I do not care about that. Listen.
Two FPGs wins. You'd be unbearable. You'd be like,
hold on. If they were number one, if they were number one, I would be shoving it up everybody's ass. No doubt.
All right. So we got to call a spade a spade.
I would be, but it's not because I would absolutely get anything from that. But it's just because it's fun to fuck with people, and that's my thing.
Okay, all right then. I get that. Now, with that being said, again, like I said, we care more about them maybe being number one than they do. Just think about when they launch. We all heard about the cloud and how it would make the Xbox One that much better, right? Then you hear they changing their tone. Well, the cloud is for everyone. They want their shit on as many platforms as possible. And my thinking, and again, that's like, well, I'm thinking, well, you guys are still selling hardware. You have to leave something unique for your hardware. Because if you look at most people's combination this generation, it's PC and the PlayStation 4. Why? I said it time and again, because people feel like they can get their exclusives, Microsoft exclusives, on a Windows 10.
I don't think that's a big large number, though. I don't think it. You got like a couple of PCs. Not a lot of people use the PC. Nobody fucking.
I'm talking about within this community. I'm not talking about the.
But I'm just talking about like the sales of the PC. They suck.
Exactly.
People say they buy it or whatever.
But they have no choice now on Windows 10 because there's no pirating. But
that's why I just don't think it's that big of a market. I just think it's more of a talking point that people get crazy over.
Tim's 100% right, and the reason I chime in is it burns my ass every time I watch some of these YouTubers that have these channels, and they're like, "Listen, guys, it's time to realize that the consoles are great."
Is that an Arsenal voice?
That's Arsenal. That's Arsenal. Yeah. He's done 50. He's done 50 of these guys. Guys, listen. It's time to understand that the PC is the way to go. And then he goes into a rant about one time it's this, and then the minute something really good happens with Xbox, he'll be like, "Just want you guys to know, I got my Xbox fully hooked up. You're playing this shit for 3 days straight." You know, he's a flip-flopper. We know that. But listen, it is what it is. You know, I want a tip to some of the YouTubers. If you just do a channel and you speak your mind and you actually put the reason that you have this drive and the reason that you care about a product, you don't have to keep flip-flopping. But that's a different thing.
Yeah, well, that's the closet Xbox fanboys, right? Because this is the thing. If you come out and just say, "I prefer Xbox. I'm an Xbox dude. I really like what they're doing," and you don't compliment Sony at the same time, you're going to get hate. So now you have these guys and girls out there that go, "Well, yeah, Xbox is good. I really like that, but PlayStation, man, they really earned it." They,
that PlayStation is a beast.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like if Xbox One was winning, those guys those closet cheerleaders.
So basically the train of thought would be completely different of those people if Microsoft won.
Oh, they would be shoving it up. They'd be shoving it up everybody's ass, just like I would. But I mean, do they really care? I mean, I don't know.
People root for this shit just like they root
football teams.
And it's just as crazy.
Yep.
The difference is it's okay to be a fanatic in football, but being a fanboy is.
But we're all biased. Long as it comes down to your favorite restaurant, whether it's your favorite car restaurant, or your favorite brand of sneakers, we all prefer.
I'm a Nike fanboy, or what you associate with. Yeah, I don't fuck that Reebok or whatever.
I prefer the Xbox.
Adidas and Nike used to fight. Like there was
you guys
shit about that.
Yeah, remember when we were all younger? Okay, we were all rocking the starters jackets in high school and shit like that. The minute the Super Bowl was over, three assholes
starter jacket.
You were wearing a leather jacket.
You had a real
Crap was wearing a
fucking shotgun.
Like a Terminator 1.
Crap was wearing a members only jacket.
Pretty much.
Literally.
I know the starter thing. I remember that very well.
There was always 2 or 3 assholes that showed up with the championship team and the starter jacket. You're like, you don't like those. Like, it was like the 49ers were big in the 80s. Like, you don't like the 49ers. They were like,
Raiders
yeah, I do.
Bro.
What do you mean? You don't like, what do you mean? Of course I like the 49ers. I'm like, no, you don't. I know you don't like that. My point being is a lot of these YouTube channels are those people. Nothing's changed over the years. Sony's in the lead, so it's really easy to do shows where you like the front runner, right? I mean, there's a lot. We used to use those terms a lot as kids, and those terms have lost. We don't use those anymore because we're adults. But these guys are just adult front runners. But I mean, getting back to what Tim said was the reason I went on this harp though was because Tim said PC gaming's not that big, and it's not at all. It's not, because nobody who's just a genuine gamer or likes to even dabble with games, all the people that I know that have gone out, whether they got Xbox Ones or PS4s, none of them decided to, am I getting an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a 970 Ti hold the X. Like, nobody knows what the fuck that shit is. Nobody cares.
But did you see the Steam numbers though? Like, you know, whether they spend money and don't download their games illegally. Now, I think the numbers would be a lot different if they were all forced to buy their games.
But Zaire, here's
something different. But they have 80 million Steam accounts.
Yeah, but the proof, who gives a shit?
Who's really playing? I don't think the number's really that high.
There's people on YouTube with 200,000 subs and they're getting 1,200 views. That doesn't mean shit. My point is this: is just that you have to look at it this way. There's nobody who's a genuine, just everyday gamer that wants to go out and spend money on these on computers.
You look at a game like NBA and
right.
You know, you look at a game like Madden. Now, is Madden? I think NBA still is, but is Madden
bigger now?
Still, is Madden on PC? If there was a huge market,
no, Madden's not on PC.
Agreed. If there was a huge market, guess what? EA would be having that game on PC.
No, what is EA is greedy. No, not say they're greedy, but people, you know, EA got
just not a big. There's not a big market.
Hey, look, Destiny's not on there either, and Activision is greedy as fuck.
Compared to consoles, not even close. And PC guys,
you look at games like Dota and fucking League of Legends, like that. God damn, those games are huge.
That's the truth, and I just don't think if that's a big.
They're free though. They're free.
Well, what I'm saying again, well, that's it. I said again, whether it equates to dollars. You know, I mean, like I said again, with PC gaming, you know, there's a lot of pirating going. But as far as Windows 10,
how do you know that? But pirating probably went down a lot.
No,
Not everyone. Not we're talking about
statistic that's
not
long ago.
everyone's fucking pirating. Maybe it's the pirating.
What Ubisoft said over 97% of their games are downloaded illegally.
You don't know that. I'm just saying.
That's what Ubisoft said, not me.
There's not a lot of people that actually do that. If you take 10 out of people,
everyone I know that has a PC does it. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I know maybe I don't know one person who pirates games, and I know a lot of gamers.
I mean, I know a lot of motherfuckers in this community. Not to put anyone on blast.
Yeah,
that download their games illegally. I mean, it is what it is.
I just want to get an interview if you pirate games. DM me. I just honestly, I don't.
You know what they say? No, they know their favorite. I'm just going to download it to try it. If I like it, I'll buy it. That's they always say. That.
The bottom line is that the market's not even close to the console.
Yeah.
Well, there's more money in the console. I mean, people, you know,
the whole PC with Microsoft thing is just a fucking.
It's a fanboy tactic. That's all it is.
Okay, you said to yourself, if it wasn't any money there, then they wouldn't do it.
Why is
there is some revenue there because again,
why is there no Red Dead Redemption? I've always asked the
again because it's a single-player game and they would download it illegally.
Red Dead Redemption, that's missing PS4. Let's talk about Red Dead. That doesn't happen. The reason why consoles are given the first-class treatment is because there are more. Yeah. There's a huge.
Hey, I'll say that because look at GTA 5, right? It came out on 360 and
it doesn't even work.
Yeah, okay. and then it didn't come out till PC after it came out on the newer consoles.
Again, if there was no pirated on PC, I think the numbers would be a lot, you know. Again, because you can take single-player games like like Red Dead Redemption. Again, Ubisoft just put out a statistic that 97% of their single-player games are downloaded illegally. That's fucking huge. I mean, only 3% of the whole PC world buy their games legit. That's what you. That's fucking like.
They're in a small little bottle in themselves.
But I mean, if there is some revenue there, Microsoft is doing it. I mean, there has to be some, you know. And like I said, if they wasn't concerned about pirating or whatever, that's why there's no bootlegging on Windows 10.
But I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying, well, what you're all talking about is just such a small segment. It really is not big.
It really is.
In my opinion.
Well, I mean, look, I don't think if Microsoft is looking to get that much out of it anyway, if most of their first-party stuff is going to be cross-buy anyway. So it's like you're not really making anything extra out of that.
You got all these guys. You got all these guys on IGN.
It's just a fucking talking point.
They're over, and perfect timing too, because Sal's here. He'll give me shit for this, but like they're all over in California, being like, we cut our cable. We don't need cable. Do you see Time Warner out of business? Do you see Comcast with a fucking ringing a bell outside of Walmart asking for a quarter? No, because these guys are full of shit. They're the ones that are telling everybody every week on these shows that the PC market is growing. Believe me. Believe you? I'm not believing shit. First of all, you did a 5-part episode of how to build a PC for $500. I'm not building a fucking PC for $500. I'm going to go buy a fucking Xbox One. Why the fuck would I do that? I'll put an Xbox One in the fucking bathroom. You know, I'll put one in my bedroom. What the fuck am I going to do with that shit? I don't, like, if I'm building a PC, I'm building a $3,500 PC. I'm going to play one that makes my eyes fucking shoot in the back of my head. Be like, what the fuck? Oh my God, this is amazing. Like, these guys are out of their minds over there with these IGNs and Kotakus and all these. They tell everybody, PC's growing, you don't need cable. Fuck yourself. Are you crazy? Come to New York. Yo, do me a favor. Come to New York for fucking 5 months. These guys with their collars up.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, so me personally, I will always be a console dude because I like the simplicity of it, and because I didn't have such great experiences when I first got my first rig. Bought games that didn't boot up, and I had to go dumpster dive and get it filed from this place over here, and then patch it. Fuck all that. But I like the simplicity of consoles. I like the community. Again, that's why I prefer the Xbox One over the PlayStation 4. I like to sit back, talking, bugging the fuck out. I like that. That's me. Even when I'm not playing, I put the headset on, sit in trees, hang out in a party, bug the fuck out. That's what I like. I'm more of a social gamer with my wine, got my pinky out with the flute. Yada, yada, yada. That's me. Okay, I get it. You know, but not everyone's like that. Some people, you know, want to be hunched over a fucking keyboard, and that's not my thing.
But those are PC guys, like, and I always said this, and I think I said this recently, is right, like, because people message me, hey, crap, Recore going to PC. What's the point in buying an Xbox One? And I says, well, if you're a console guy, you'll get it on Xbox One, you'll get it at Xbox One. If you're a PC guy, you'll play it on PC. It's that simple, because let's face it, 99% of the games are multi-platform, and 98% of those are on PC. If you really cared that much about the performance and had that beast of a rig, you would play every game on PC, right? But if you're a console guy, you're
crap. I heard steak and pork loin cook in the they cook in the oven. So what do you need a grill for?
Yeah, I guess
do you
you're
need a
right,
grill?
man. I guess I don't.
Get rid of it. You know, I mean, like it's the stupidest conversation. That's what I'm saying. It's a vocal minority is all we're hearing.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
You know, that's all it is. Social media has opened up. You know, listen, I think the airwaves are too open sometimes. You know, I'm all for you know, speak your mind and this and that, but unfortunately, the mute button is not it's not everywhere in life as it should be.
Yeah.
So like, you know, the problem is you hear all this bullshit and this nonstop banter from the, like I said, the IGNs of the world, the IGNs, Kotaku's, Polygons, they're full of shit, man. They're absolutely full of shit. The PC thing is a non-issue, and if you don't believe me, just wait and see. I can't wait until Tomb Raider is available on the 28th or 29th, whatever the fuck it is, on Steam and in Windows. Who cares? The numbers are going to be so low on PC. That's when we attack. Nobody's buying that on PC. They're a bunch of fucking.
Well, I don't think we have to be mean to the PC, but my opinion is.
Well, no, neither.
I think we do.
My opinion. Well, you might not like. I don't give a shit. I'm just talking just on an Xbox level. To me, it doesn't really threaten me from the game going. Oh, you know, I mean, maybe I wouldn't say if Halo.
There's three specific games that I would flip my shit.
Exactly.
And it would be the newest ones. I would flip my shit. I would someone would have to film me because I'd be a YouTube sensation.
Other than those 3 games, there's 70%.
Dude, the big 3 Xbox games.
Yeah.
What, Halo, Gears, and Forza?
Yeah.
That's not
like other than that, that's when, you know, if it's every other game, to be honest, I don't really feel threatened. If it does come to a Halo, we're gonna have the debate and we're gonna have it.
What's the difference then? What's the difference? What's the difference? If it's the vocal minority,
because I could see it's too fast. People are, like, you know, you have to show that the Xbox has its unique appeal.
But what did I say at the beginning?
Yeah, you're right. But you can't do 70% of the games, which. You know,
I'm fine with the look on.
That's why I said
Oven Crest or whatever.
That's why I said you have to leave some things on just in the hardware business. I don't give a fuck what games it is. You have to leave some things exclusive to your platform. That's what I said. This generation, if you ask people if their hookup is PC, PS4, because they feel as though they can get the Xbox One games.
I would just think that they're just PS4.
Maybe
a vocal minority on YouTube, but
whatever the case is,
Jolly Mom is not buying their kid a fucking PC. It's not happening. You're talking about.
And look. There's some places where I think it fits. Halo Wars 2, for example, perfect to have crossplay, right? Because there's no advantages, there's no disadvantages. PC is typically where you see those type of games. Killer Instinct is a game that requires a controller. Well, Gears is Gears Ultimate. It's not, and again, you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't have to play against those. You know what I'm saying?
We're not on the same servers.
No, I mean you can, but you don't have to.
Yeah, you could section it off the way you want.
Yeah.
That's the way they're building the tools too, from what I heard. Is that you can say console only. You can choose.
Or the same thing with like Fable Legends. I can see that. Why? Because they set the multiplayer up like a MOBA, and MOBAs are big on PC. Whether that's your thing or not. Just look at games like, and who knows? They have their places. People might on my friends list notice I'm on a game called Smite quite a bit lately. You know, it's a fucking MOBA free to play.
How dare you?
Thought? Yeah, right. I mean, who would have thought, right? That like me and my clanmates are just like they like it. It's competitive, and I think that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? I don't think there's really much else like that on Xbox One, and it's interesting. You know, I have a friend who spent over $250 on that game. You know,
on Smite.
Yeah, on Smite, because it's a free-to-play game. You buy.
That's what they call the whales.
Yes, that's what they do. They nickel and dime you, right? Like, except for me, because I'm too cheap for that shit. But I play with whatever I play whatever character is on the free rotation on Smite. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was in a conversation once, and I asked somebody in the know. I says, these free-to-play. I says, like, how are you making money on Fable Legends or games? And what I was told was there are people who play it and don't do it, but there's these people called whales, they call them, and they must buy, like, you're talking thousands of dollars on these games,
So then
and they constantly throw money at them. So they have those. That's where those games make money. Is they have these portion of people that just keep throwing money at it.
Okay, well, a game like Fable Legends, from what I thought, it was just the characters, and you
buy the character.
Okay, so I don't mind me paying $60, and I'm gonna pay $60, and I'm gonna unlock everything, you know.
Sort of like Killer Instinct, right?
Yeah,
like
okay,
you can
cool.
buy them each
That,
$4.99, or you can buy the whole season for $20.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know, I would pay $60 and unlock everything. Now I'm not gonna pay for no $20 for a sword. Or I think that's.
I think you know what, with like Smite, this is what happens, right? Like there's a certain amount of characters, right? You pay $30 for all characters, and then each character has probably 6 or 7 or 8 different skins, and people want to look a certain way or have a certain, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I get it. Skins.
It's skins. It's nothing that really affects the outplay of the game.
Okay,
it's just
cool.
how
I'm
people
cool
look.
with that. But you know, as long as let me pay $60, $50, $60, let me unlock everything. You know, for our characters. Just don't leave this carrot dangling in front of my face, or I don't fuck that.
And then the same thing with like Sea of Thieves, right? That's going to be an MMO, of course. I mean, that makes sense to do that with both communities, because the PC community is big with MMOs. You've got an MMO cross-platform. That's like a win for Microsoft, in my opinion. You know, and here's why: because Sony plays that as a win. Look, they're hyping up crossplay between PC and PS4 Street Fighter, right? So how is that a win for them? But Microsoft doing crossplay on Killer Instinct or crossplay on Sea of Thieves or Fable Legends is not a win for them.
Oh, well, see, Sony calls it. It's now a new thing, console exclusive. We can count that.
I've always said that you know, that was a long debated thing. The fact of the matter is, these companies view console exclusives as an exclusive, or they have, you know. So when somebody says, "Oh, you got no games," like it's not really the fact of the matter is that there is a want there from one console to the other. If one game, like it sucks that the Xbox doesn't have Street Fighter V. You know, it's a hit, but at least we have Killer Instinct.
Is it a hit after hit?
It's a hit. It's a hit. It's a hit in the shins, to be honest with you. I'm really going to be paying attention to that number. That if that breaches 1 million, it'll just stay stagnant right there. It's not going to do very well.
Well, let's make
a small bet here on Big Talks. But I'm saying Street Fighter is going to do at least 3 million, at least.
Lifetime
with a time frame.
I'm talking about within this year. I'm talking about within this year.
No,
I mean it's probably going to be.
Let's make a $20 bet. Come on.
Listen, Zaire, hear me out. Let's just talk facts for a minute. Just talk facts.
a lot.
You have a lot of casual people in that 35 million.
There are a lot of casual people that play
but casual people that don't play a game that came out in 1999.
Shit, my wife plays Street Fighter, so I'm trying to tell you.
You're 30.
I bet it sells good in Japan. I bet it sells good in Japan, but I don't know.
I'm talking about America. I'm not talking
about. I'm talking about in general. I'm not talking about the Street Fighters, the ad on Hyper Diaper Addiction. You know, Street Fighter, if you look back at Street Fighter 4 numbers, it did very well. You know, fighters are not dead. Look at
but the numbers are you can't go by that though, Z. Whenever somebody, I went through this when on BGST when they first got it, I made a comment about all Street Fighter's old news. It's not going to do well, and I got a bunch of ponies sending me stuff that said, "Look at these Street Fighter 4 numbers." Yeah, but the numbers were over like 9 years. It was like all right, 9 years and 4
the
consoles.
game is going to continue to sell. Like I said, you know, that's what makes it a success because the game has legs.
The Super Street Fighter 4 per Wikipedia.
I'm not talking about all the.
But you see,
I'm just going to give you what Street Fighter 4 did, and that was with 360 and PS3. It did 3.3 million per Wikipedia. You know, it might not. I don't know if it's official. It says I'm going to check.
We can go by Wikipedia. It's cool.
But Z, what you just said is part of the hypocrisy in the gaming community. What? Why is it when Street Fighter V comes out, the longevity of the contract deal is all that matters, but then the 12 months that we're supposed to wait to see how Rise of the Tomb Raider did, we get attacked. My God, it did terrible in 2 months. It did terrible in 2 months.
We won't do that.
That's the bust the bullshit. I mean, like, we talking about.
That's the bullshit.
Listen, this is talk.
That's the bullshit that some pull. I don't think we'll be pulling it.
This is barbershop talk between 4 grown-ass men, right. Not the 15 to 16-year-old. We get it. Right. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got to set that stuff, you know, above that there. Now, what I'm saying is that with the reason why like I said, you got to realize this. I didn't believe it at first, and then the last generation, the 360 was the Apple iPod, especially here in North America.
Mm-hmm.
And after this holiday season, like I told you guys before, I didn't think that Sony was going to win this holidays. I told you guys, the PlayStation 4 is this generation's iPod. Whether we like, for whatever reason, you know, probably because of the multiplats,
mob mentality.
Yeah, whatever. It's it. And the Xbox One is always going to be, this is going to be second fiddle. This is going to be the other console, whether we like it or not. And that's what I'm saying, you know, a game like Street Fighter V, it, you know, console exclusive to it's a good win for them. You know what I mean? You know,
it might not sell 3 million though. I mean,
it's going to do its numbers.
I agree with you. It'll do well.
Well, I mean, what's it coming out in February?
Yes.
I don't think there's a whole lot of
income
hey,
tax.
but you're still gonna have. I mean, it might.
Let's do what is it on Amazon? Let's see if because a lot of the guys that were telling me that Forza sold. I remember they were telling me a month before, just around this time, that Tomb Raider was gonna bomb and this and that. Let's see what. Bestsellers on Amazon. Well, I'll tell you right now.
Hey, well, you're still gonna see. I can guarantee you. I mean, you guys see, like, look, Call of Duty, 250 million units in sales all lifetime, right? That's unbelievable in my opinion. Black Ops 3 was the biggest selling game of 2015. I mean, and we keep, you know, saying that, oh, that Call of Duty thing's gonna fade. It's gonna fade, and then you know. And it always comes back and does it. Minecraft was in the top 10 again on MPD. Grand Theft Auto was in the top 10 year long on MPD. Battlefront was on. Well, you know what I'm saying? And hey, guess what? Battlefront and Black Ops 3 sold best according to the MPD on Xbox One. You know what I mean? So you know.
Well, right now, not to interject, but right now Street Fighter's at 65 on Amazon bestsellers, and it's what does it do out in 3 more weeks?
Yeah.
No, I don't know when it comes out.
Usually, when the huge games start to get 3 weeks before, like Halo,
it comes out. I mean, Street Fighter's not Halo. Street Fighter's not Halo. Street Fighter's not Call of Duty.
Well, Street Fighter, Halo probably.
You know what? Fighters are secondary purchases, much like racers are.
Yeah, but again, like I said,
they sell over time too.
The Wikipedia for Mortal Kombat. What did that do this generation?
I don't know. Let me see.
That's a good idea.
It's easier to get older stuff because I'll have an official on it. VGA charts is fucking just.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
They update it though when they get the officials.
I mean, yeah.
Mortal Kombat, what? It just was in the top 10.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 10 was it? Mortal Kombat X or whatever the fuck it is.
It's only VGA charts going.
I like how every time there's literally bashing
February
about us
16th.
on. Everybody that bashes us on Twitter has an anime icon from PlayStation. Can you guys do me a favor and grow the fuck up? Stop with the.
It's all the same, and they
February 16th is when Street Fighter releases. So February 16th.
For some reason, you'll notice a cat in a weird post. It's just blocked because it's always a fucking weirdo Sony fanboy, or just it's pretty much a Sony fanboy. They like have a cat just to block it. It's
now that game,
I don't know.
Like I said, like okay, I mean MPD, it'll probably be in the top 10 because I remember saying Bloodborne would never be, and then it ended up releasing in like February or March when nothing else released. So I think it came in at like number 10.
Oh, what game is that you might?
Bloodborne.
Yeah, well, then they come in like number 7 or 10 or something.
Yeah, it's charted.
Yeah, it did because nothing else came out, right? I think Street Fighter is going to do something. It'll sell well in Japan, right? But I don't think that it's going to. Yeah, I don't think that it's going to. I think that's the.
These guys. Let's be honest. These guys are going to be within a 11-month stretch where they haven't had a big title like a AAA. Yeah. I would consider this a AAA. I've had this argument. I mean, I don't. I don't.
I got
blockbuster.
Well, as far as Mortal Kombat, check it out. As of last year, October 12, 2015, it says Batman: Arkham Knight and Mortal Kombat sell 5 million each worldwide. That's just as of October. So on the PlayStation 4, fucking 5 million. That's not including what it did on the Xbox One. So. I don't think it's a dying genre. It's gonna do well. I mean, would it did better with the Xbox One numbers, of course, but it's gonna do at least.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't even gonna do that. I mean, Sony kind of went to them and was like, Sony didn't have any games.
Well, according to Capcom, if it wasn't for Sony, the game wouldn't have got made.
Exactly, just like.
Yeah. What's smart business when they have? I mean, smart business when they have. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
just like Dead Rising 3, which guess what? Capcom Vancouver's gearing up to do more games. You know, and rumor is Dead Rising 4. So
Oh, that would fucking. I would love that.
That would be nice.
I'm not a big Dead Rising fan.
I didn't play that. I love Dead Rising 2.
I'm with you on that. I'm not a huge Dead Rising fan. But
Too much shit going on. It makes me dizzy.
If we give them time, that was a launch game, so they had to rush that. If they take those fundamentals that they've already got and added to it and really, really polished it up more,
they need to make it more serious to me. I don't like the comedic shit of it. You know.
that's what Dead Rising is, though. You shoot dildos.
I don't like it. I make it a little bit more like a thriller or something. Then maybe I'd be about it. I just don't like that goofy shit.
I thought it was already darker than the other Dead Rising games. You know what? That was the first Dead Rising game that I finished. They cut out all that bullshit timed missions and shit, which are awful. I hate timed missions, and I mean that was fantastic. It had co-op. I mean, for a launch game, you can't get much better than that. That game alone was better than anything the PlayStation 4 had for the first. Maybe.
Yeah, people that like it love it. You know, I didn't even try the last one. Maybe the last one I should try. I didn't like the other Dead Rising, so
let me just go back real quick.
It's way better than the other two.
Go back to the Street Fighter V comment for a second. Crap, you made a comment. I kind of disagreed with you. You said there's not much else coming out in February. You've got Far Cry Primal coming out, possibly that Mirror's Edge game. Then you've also got The Division coming out 2 weeks after it. Street Fighter V is going to have a very, very unwelcoming launch into the PS4 family.
It could still make the top 10, though, NPD.
It's going to.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. I really don't.
It's going to be on PC, too. So
listen, if we've learned anything, times have changed, guys. A lot of what we're talking about is based upon past events. Nothing. I mean, really, we've learned that so much in some things Microsoft's tried to do, and we're like, well, that was big then. It's just not big now. I don't think with all these games coming out and the PlayStation crop having such, let's be honest, we know that they're the cheaper of the two consoles as far as consumer spending. They don't buy their own shit. They just don't. You don't believe me? Watch Zobi's channel. Watch
good point. You're right.
They don't spend no money. So if they got three or four games coming out within middle of February to middle of March, and they got to save their pennies for Uncharted, you're not necessarily gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's going to do it.
Like I said, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt because February is income tax time and people do have a little extra money coming in February.
That's true.
So I give them the benefit.
It's going to chart. So
what's going to chart? I mean,
that's the thing, and then people throw that in your face if it doesn't. So, in my opinion, it's going to chart. It'll do well. It's going to do good.
If they don't buy it digitally, I mean, there could be a lot of people that look at that as a digital purchase. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I see what's that? The ESA or something just slammed. If I talk to the first
they want MPD. Yeah, they want MPD.
They just slammed them to count digital.
Yeah, they want them to start counting, and they should, because guess what? This is 2016, and something like between 30 and 60% are bought digitally now. Yes, so.
It is.
It's really like, look, we can sit there and does it make a huge difference? Because something that's number one is still going to be number one. I mean, if it's something
but something that may not have charted, could have charted.
Yeah, like I said, that was my argument when Forza 6 released, right? People were like, oh, it didn't even chart, and I'm like, well, it could have been top. It could have been number 10. You don't know if they would have counted digital. People misconstrued that as me thinking it was going to be number 1. No, but it could have been number 9 or 10 if they would have counted digital. You don't know.
Well, I think towards the end or the end of the holiday or the start of it, you're really starting to see a paradigm shift. Like everyone seems to be shifting to buying digital. Yeah,
it's easier.
It's just easier. You could listen. Today I have like 180 games. I share my games. It's so easy. I know Crap hates the thing, but you can share it. It's easier, and you always own it.
Yeah.
So for me, like on subject, it's not reported, and more MPD is becoming more and more of harder to decipher what is really doing great, because I heard 30%, 33% digital, for Halo, you have to really start counting them to get a clear insight. So it is kind of like getting to the point where it's a little bullshitty. So good that ESA did that.
Is it really? That's nothing for us to sit and beat our chests over. These, like, what does it really matter to us? At the end of to gamers, what sells this or what sells that?
Well, I think people like to celebrate things.
Exactly. That's why I said we root for these games and these consoles like our favorite sports teams. At the end of the day. Because it doesn't matter who sells.
Well, people will deny that and go, "Oh no, it's, just for the gamer."
Like I said, if you don't, like you like.
At the end of the day, they all have a preference. It's true.
We do. If you're saying that you don't have a preference, you're lying to yourself. You know what I mean?
Everyone has
can we all this game?
No, hey, here's the thing. It's okay to have a preference.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I prefer the Xbox One.
Yeah, you don't have to sit there and kiss ass to something else, the other console, just because you prefer the Xbox One, and you know what I mean, and you're afraid to be seen as a fanboy. You can
That's what I have a problem with.
It's just the human psyche that people associate themselves to one or the other.
Yeah, but again,
it's
that's
not
what
like people have, like, if people have a BMW and a Lexus in the driveway, or you see a family, they'll only have BMWs, but if they have a BMW and a Lexus, they're not going to just, there is a person that's like, says, oh, BMW all the way over Lexus.
Yeah, I mean, you like what you like.
It was the Infinity Verse Acura. That was a big fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember fighting with people about that on forums and stuff because that's what people do.
Aren't they just, isn't Infinity and Acura the same goddamn? Oh, so
no, one time people would say, oh, it's a Nissan with leather.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And
but
gold,
again, my problem, and you're right, and my problem, what I have a problem with those people that go out of their way to make themselves not seen biased when they really, we all have a favorite, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Or how about when they fucking pat something on the back? You know what I mean? Just to be politically correct.
Like I said, you know what? Again, that's why I have a problem. And guess what? They all listen. Mark my words. I want you to look at some of your favorite YouTubers and see what crowd they pandering to this generation, right? And everyone panders to the PlayStation 4 community. When they play their multiplats, they play on the PlayStation 4. I guarantee you, if Microsoft comes out guns a-blazing next generation, watch them flip their shit, be right back with the Xbox. I bet you. I bet you. You know what I mean? That's what I say. Microsoft can't cut no corners. Next generation, they got to really. Well, we can talk about that. What the next generation console, the next generation Xbox? What do you want to see standard in your next generation Xbox?
Elite controller, first thing.
Make sure it's got to have except.
Now you just called them budget soft to you. They gonna give us that $150 controller.
By then it won't be $150. It'll be $100.
I hope so.
Elite controller, reuse the Kinect that you can.
Yeah.
And that you have, and just a fucking power beast.
Okay, here's mine. This is what I like. Okay, go, crap. Go.
Oh, I was gonna say, physical media, allow that.
All right.
Archie Bunker. All right, what else?
Holy shit.
It's gotta bring back the arcade, get rid of everything's an app bullshit. I don't like that. I just, something. It's got to be beefy, but it's got to be affordable. You can't come out there with a $500 price tag. So.
Right. Hey, Nick, we talking about 3 years from now. $500 is not that bad.
And you can't. Not only that, but it is. I mean, look, if the PS5 comes out and says $400 again, that does matter.
No. If the Xbox, this is the problem. The Xbox One was $500 because of the peripheral that people didn't want, right? And the PlayStation 4 was $400 and was more powerful. So that was a big mistake. But if the Xbox One come out and is $500 and is more powerful than the PlayStation 4 and the games show it, I don't think it would be issues.
Sony will change the narrative. Sony will change the narrative to whatever fits them.
I don't fuck that. I'm just saying what I want for them.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the Microsoft had a bunch of missteps, and they're well chronicled. We can go over them. But if Microsoft comes out and they kill it with an elite console, you'll see a lot of people start wavering, and then
it was like I don't think Microsoft can't cut corners when it comes to the hardware. They're not going to do that again. So 4K maybe not native, but upscale to 4K, 1080p, 60 frames standard for every game.
Yeah, it has to be standard. But if they should be able to play 4K games.
Oh yeah, they should. But if it's not native with some games, it could be upscale. I'm cool with that. DX12 mandatory for a game. It'll
be DX13 by then.
Well, whatever the case, the Elite controller standard with the Xbox One console because there's no going
100%.
back. There's no going back. I just said I didn't get
Best
it.
controller going by
It
far.
feels cheap. The other one controller, they made a fuck these up, buddy, because it just feels cheap.
So true.
They really may have done that good of a job. For those of you that don't own one, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I guarantee you, once you play with an Elite, just the weight of it, you're not going to want to go back to playing with the other controller.
No, feels cheap.
It feels very cheap.
It makes the other feel like Fisher Price.
I want to see something done with the cloud that makes the Xbox One more powerful than what it is standard. You know what I mean? And I don't think people are going to have a problem with always online because we're always online.
You cannot talk about no always online shit.
Why?
Because Sony will do the exact opposite. Yes.
Again, if they can show, that's what I say. Listen, hear me out. If they can quarterback this generation with Crackdown, right? And that comes out, and that is amazing. And it shows us this is only can done on the cloud, and this makes your Xbox One that much. Let's say they have to quarterback it. You know what I mean? You can't just, they have to lay the groundwork now. So if Crackdown comes out as a whole new gaming experience that takes this, generation by storm, we won't have a problem.
I don't think it matters that people will.
The thing is that you do lose the functionality when you go offline. When you like a game like Crackdown 3. Very well could have a single player in the cloud, but that would require everyone to be always online.
But we all always online now. Who bought a next generation console that's not online?
This was an argument in 2013, but
2013 is now 2016. Crap.
Yes. 2020.
Hey, next gen. Let me tell you who's going to be waiting in the weeds for Microsoft. Because look, Sony, they're not in a hurry to start next gen. Why? Because they're winning this gen. But look, guess what? They're going to sit back and I'm Sony, right? I'm Yoshida and company and Kaz Hirai, right? I'm back. I'm eating my sushi and my rice and I'm having a good time.
Crap.
And I'm gonna wait for Microsoft to come out and announce what they're going to do. Why? Because we want Microsoft to give you ammo for your bullets. Right? Your bullets for your gun. And this is what Microsoft's going to do. Microsoft has to come out with just a powerful console that's inexpensive. They can't say always online. They can't say no physical media. They can't say this stuff because Sony will come out and say...
Plus the history, too, is very...
This is what I say by that, again.
It sucks, but it sucks.
But I'm just saying, but what was... You got to realize this, again. We're talking about 2013, right? We have matured so much. We have took so many. Like we couldn't imagine that. Look at YouTube. You buy all your games digitally. You know what I mean? Digital. You know what I mean? And especially next generation.
And there's still issues with that sometimes. People there's problems.
I'm buying my games. I don't have that much of a collection anymore. I'm trying to build my collection up because of the fire. But before the start of this, before I had the fire, I was buying all my shit digitally. You know what I mean? And thank God I did because I still have those games that I bought digitally. You know what I mean? And I think more people are buying their games digitally.
But just imagine Microsoft comes out and announces this thing first and says, okay, it's got DRM and this and that. And then Sony's like, and then Sony comes out and says, hey, no DRM over here. You got yourself...
That's not true, though, crap. We have DRM now. Look at Sony just fucked the guy out of $1,300 DRM. There's always going to be DRM.
There is, but I'm talking about...
What's the story with that?
So it was some fraud purchases on his account.
Sweden or something happened in Sweden, right?
No, I don't know. It was in the UK. It was overseas in Europe somewhere. With some fraudulent purchases on his account from FIFA, and he disputed it. It was like $600. He disputed it. Sony only wanted to refund him back $150. He disputed the $450 with his bank. His bank didn't pay.
That was an old story. I heard.
Yeah. It was a couple stories like that. Bank didn't pay.
There's a new one. There's a new one.
I don't know about the new one. I know there's a few stories like that, and Sony locked him out of his account. Yeah, like almost $2,000 worth of video games that he bought digitally. Sony, that was horrible. You know what I mean? He went to Help Me Howard and Fox News and all this shit. You know what I mean? But there's always going to be DRM.
Shame on You. We went to Shame on You.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah. And the BGST. Yeah, but since stuff like that would the media get downplayed, had that been Microsoft, that shit would have been plastered all across. IGN screws gamer out of, Xbox. Microsoft screws gamer out of 2,000 worth of games. It'd have been all across, IGN and N4G. But it's a NeoGAF and screaming about it.
Well, you know what it is? It's like you'll see this on two things. You'll see a negative article come out, and you have this group of freaking people. It's a ton of trolls, and they'll just harp on it in the comments of IGN, And then you'll see the flip side too. You'll see like a really positive Xbox who are trying to be positive. And I mean, you just look at the first comments like, 720p box, and then the second comment is, oh, I wouldn't get this shit, like always a pot shot. So that's just why those and they generate hits. So that's why it goes that route. You know what I mean? They're not going to talk about real, like Microsoft's an easy person to put up there and say, let's attack, and everyone gets in that attack mentality. When you do it with Sony, you have all these, they have a large people. They're very dedicated. They, they defend and they defend. The bottom line is it is what it is. So that's why you get those trends.
Let me ask all three of you guys a question. What do you think hurt Microsoft most this generation? The most?
We asked this last week.
No, we did.
I think so.
It's the whole DRM, not
the DRM? No, just one.
Oh, yeah, DRM.
Okay, you say DRM. What do you say, Tim?
Resolution.
What do you say, Mooch?
Man, definitely power resolution.
I say resolution also.
Yeah.
And DRM, there's always been DRM.
Well, listen, here's the thing, guys. Getting back to what you asked, the initial question was, what can they do? There's a really tight rope here because there's two things you want to do.
Okay.
Microsoft's going to want to beat Sony to the punch as far as getting the console out. They are, and I do think so too. But that runs with some risk because once you do that, okay, technology is moving at 6-month gaps. So once Microsoft comes out with their console, as powerful, and believe me, it will be powerful when it comes out, Sony not only will know what's in the box, but they'll also be able to up it by one. So Microsoft's engineer, well, that's true, but it depends. That's what I was just going to get to. Depending on what Microsoft decides what to spend on what chip to put in the box. My personal opinion, they need to. They're going to lose. They have to. I don't mean this in a bad way. It's actually a positive thing. They've got to lose their shirt on the next box. They have to make sure that whatever they put in the box is actually something that's actually forward a year. You know what I mean? Because they're always going to be, consoles are never getting the latest and greatest. So whatever they would normally put in the box that is definitely sufficient, they'd need to up it one more from there, which is going to be costly.
You know what I don't understand? They spent $3 billion with a B with AMD. What the fuck did they pay for?
I'll tell you.
Mr. X took his fucking I heard he took his site down.
I don't know. I don't.
Thank God.
What did they pay for?
What they paid for, Zaire, is this: if it wasn't for Digital Foundries, Shaggy, and a couple of douchebags at GameSpot or GameStop that can't fucking find the settings button, if it wasn't for those few assholes, we would all have no idea about the power differential.
I'm going to tell you.
That's how they did. They made the console with a DDR3 so good, so polished, such a fucking top-ranked machine that it really does go head-to-head with the PS4, regardless of spec on spec. And that's the point. We've just got people. We're drooling over drawing straws. Like there's no big deal here between the two consoles.
It's not like a Wii versus a 360.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying.
My answer to the money. You know where it went to, Zaire? Developers. Developers.
Yeah, I just don't understand that.
We're almost at 400, by the way. So what are we at right now? I'm trying to get this to hit 400 right now. Crap.
I don't know what we at, but I'm just saying they spent $3 billion with a B. Sony spent
394.
Yeah, $450 million. I just don't understand it. How you can walk away with.
We'll never find out. But the bottom line is that it is what it is. This gen.
They can't do that next generation. They have to.
Yeah.
400 motherfuckers.
Yeah! Developers. That's what we do.
Bacon grease.
No, I'm actually happy that we hit that number. I mean, that's pretty good.
I put the over-under today. Didn't I do that in the chat? Did you see that?
Yeah. I mean, that's good. I think that it's people like the show. I mean, that's I love that. And look, we don't even always.
The difference is too with the show that I've noticed is originally when you go back about a year ago, a lot of times we thought that the people that were listening were also some of our haters, and that's still happening.
Oh yeah.
But we are getting. There's a lot more people. I can only speak for myself. You guys chime in. I get a lot of DMs and I get a lot of tweets that say we are starting to actually see what you guys are talking about. So what we're doing is enlightening people. We are opening.
The Xbox community is growing. I mean, when I first started this thing here, the Xbox community, there wasn't really one, two. Actually, I don't even know any other really pro Xbox channels. And I like I said, another thing too. I'm sorry, I want to add. Don't get rid of Upload Studio either, Microsoft, when you come up with your next console. I hope, because you have.
They got a preview. Listen, they're going to keep previewing. They're going to probably. I would think that the next generation is probably going to have Windows 10, so they can just transfer all this shit too.
It's going to be backwards compatible.
Yeah, everything's going to be backwards compatible. That's another thing. This is like Windows 10. Guess what's built into Windows 10? 360 backward compatibility. Guess what will be built into Windows 10? Xbox One compatibility.
Oh yeah,
that's why.
I don't think that's going to change. I think the next console also is going to be x86. I just I'll put a more powerful GPU in the box.
Did you guys see that Greeny changed his avatar to an OG Xbox thing today? You think he's saying something or just?
Do you think there's a market for that? Do we still want that?
No, I think the reason he changed it was he had a picture of him next to Russell Wilson, and he wanted to get the fuck that thing off.
Oh yeah, I can understand that.
I mean, do you think
I would too.
For that, though? Are you playing OG?
I think it's a thing you can pat yourself on the back and say, hey, we can play
because I bought
Xbox games.
I bought a OG Xbox. I bought another one, and I was going to start live streaming some OG Xbox games. Those games look like shit.
They do. I just got them playing Jade Empire.
No, I haven't. I can't do it. Now listen, I wouldn't mind. Again, I don't mind remasters and stuff when they make sense. I wouldn't mind replaying a Jade Empire with next generation graphics and stuff.
Well, what sucks is the games that we would like to see get remade or for this generation, they don't do. Instead. We get the same shit, It's like
I don't want to.
Like nobody was asking for Beyond Two Souls.
No.
Nobody's asking for God of War 3.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, like that. Nobody was asking for those
things.
You think
Sony may have killed that market with all the remasters and stuff and remakes and.
You know what? I was watching something. It was like WatchMojo.com. And they do top 10 stuff, and sometimes they do video games, and they did top 10 remasters, and they even took kind of a dig, which I thought was funny because usually people don't take digs at Sony. They're like Sony loves to remaster their own properties, maybe too much so. There was a lot to choose from because there's they did a Jack and Daxter collection remastered, a Sly Cooper remastered, God of War collection.
I forgot they remastered the PS2 games for the play. Sony's been doing
they did.
Wow.
They even did PSP games on the PS3.
Right. Sony's been remastering games since. They remastered the PS1 games, some for the PS2, and the PS1 games and the PS2 games for the PlayStation 3. Sony's been doing this shit for a while, you know what I mean? But what I don't understand, Sony again has this big, huge library of fucking IPs, right? Like the Getaway 2. Why are they not doing games like that again? Like, you know what I mean? That's what makes the PlayStation 2 again great was that all these third-party multi-platform that were exclusives back in the PlayStation 2 era. That's people. It's not that so much that Sony made the best exclusive. That the multi-platform today were exclusives back on the PlayStation 2. I've always said that no one. That's why I know a lot of these guys that are in the comments. They're like 15, 16 years old, never even had a PS2. What I mean? But games like I said, like the Getaway, I would love to play that again. You know what I mean? Like I think that's or Parappa the Rapper. That was like unique. Shit like that. Sony's not. Those games may not have sold well. Maybe that's why.
Yeah,
it's all about making $1. You know what I mean? But games like the Tearaway and stuff, I'm not asking to play that shit. What's the other one? The other Vita game. Gravity
Rush.
They put that back on the. I don't know, man. I'm not with that. So.
The thing is, people are clucking their heels over this stuff, right? Like,
are they? They're not buying that shit. Though.
Yeah, I mean, nobody bought. I don't think very many people bought Tearaway or they'll buy.
No, they did.
Or whatever.
You know what I mean? Like, prime example, when Bang Bang, shout out to all the members of Bang Bang next year. We got a lot of new members. I asked all the ponies or PlayStation fans, show me a picture of your exclusives, right? Every last one of those horse-faced motherfuckers showed me all multi-plats, and I said, your exclusives. You know what I mean? They don't even buy their fucking exclusives, man. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man.
Well, I mean that's the problem with that in general. It's like you know, like that's what my PS4 is strictly for exclusives.
Me
so
too.
It explains why I only have like 6 or 7 games, and none of those are good.
You got more than me. I got what do I have? I have The Order. I have God of War, which I wish I would have bought.
Yeah, I definitely
bought the Beyond. Because I beat all my, you know, I have a better track record on my PlayStation 4. I beat all my PlayStation 4 exclusives. But I didn't. That Beyond what's that? Not Beyond 2 Soul. Until Yawn. My God, that was dog shit. Horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
they're gonna give a sequel to that too. Like that's the sad part.
Why? Who the fuck's asking for that?
Dude,
I don't know, man. It's low cost. It didn't cost a lot of money to make that.
It was a PlayStation Move game that got bumped up to the. I mean, it's eye candy. It's a pretty looking game, but the game is boring. Like I'm serious.
Well, you know why it's a pretty looking game, right? Because they used the kill zone.
I know. You know, you're not able to control much. You just like walk forward and cutscene and like like the same thing they did with The Order. You know what I mean? It's Ray. But the game is boring. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I didn't even buy that shit.
No, don't. Actually, I'm gonna pick a lucky. Anybody in the comment section want Until Yawn. First person to inbox me on Twitter, I'll send it to you. Free of charge, no bullshit.
I'd actually get Until Dawn. I just my
No, it's not. It's not good, Tim. It's not.
What, the Until Dawn?
Until what's the Until? Yeah, it's not a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I would just get. I know I said I never paid full price for that, but I would.
I got my white boy to put me for Christmas for $40. It's not even. It make 15.
Who's your white
maybe.
boy? I need a white boy too.
I know. Listen, no, I'm a wife, not a white boy. My wife. It's not. I say $15. That game is not fun. I bullshit you not. I'm not even over exaggerating. I'm dead serious. I enjoyed The Order way more than that.
Well, The Order was the biggest problem with The Order with me was the fucking. And listen, people are like, oh, you watch you. I don't watch fucking Blu-rays. I hate the fucking black bars. I despise it on Blu-rays, and I just really.
That was my the cutscenes that I couldn't skip. That was my issue.
I couldn't even play. I wasn't Resident Evil 4 had black bars, right?
I didn't
one
get
of them. One of the Resident.
It was what the hell?
On Youth Game 2. This is going back. The game
Resident Evil 0, or I don't know.
Whatever. I remember
The Evil Within is a newer game that did that. They had the black bars, right?
Yeah.
And it was so bad and so many complaints that developers patched in way too.
And it's so much better. By the way.
Yeah, exactly.
So much better.
Nobody wants to play that game because you have widescreen TVs anyway. So why cut off part of the screen unless you're just trying to if your console can't really handle that.
I remember getting DM'd, and it's a funny story by a guy
going down in the DMs.
No, it was a funny story because he was like, it was through way. He was like, yo, man, this is next gen. He told me how. He's talking about Order. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, it looks next generation, the graphically wise. But
he said, welcome to his quote, welcome to next gen. I was just like, this Rise looks better than that, and I'm not dealing with the fucking the
game. Speaking of which, I would love to have a Rise 2. For them take their time and
never gonna happen.
Listen, the biggest issue with the Rise, why it got so repetitive that you wasn't able to switch your weapon. And they let you get some fire.
You should listen to Tim. You should listen to Tim though. Tim knows because I've heard the same thing.
I know too. I heard it from this probably the same person that
Yeah, Rise 2 is never gonna happen.
I will love
it. They dogged Microsoft. There was like there's some comments and stuff that after that whole thing went down.
I heard it was some issues with Crytek.
The Crytek there was some comments that they were trashing the system, but the game they put out was. You can say whatever. That was just, the game. It was unbelievably beautiful. Even the way they progressed it, they did it through a 32 megabit buffer. I think when it was 900p, they post processed it. They did something with it even helped with the upscaling where
it wouldn't.
I don't even think they upscale. I remember back up at that game. You look at that game. And,
it is. It's very pretty, But I think the best aspect of Rise was the storyline. The gods were playing the game.
Well, I was pissed at the ending, but that's another story.
What? You wanted my man to live? Like that shit was ill. It reminded me of the Gladiator. I guess.
I guess Well, I guess he's really dead too.
You know what sucks? You know what sucks though is that game. Like Mike Ibarra and Phil really liked that game. Like they were playing it.
Behind it.
Yeah, they really liked it. So it sucks that there was such a falling out. You know, and Crytek doesn't even have a lot of money. So I kind of wish that
could have been like God of War. I mean,
it could have been. It could have been. Yeah.
Just think about it. Had you been able to change your weapons and pick up a sword or a dagger, you know, it did better if it wasn't a launch game. You know what I mean?
I don't think we'll ever see Sunset Overdrive 2, so those IPs
I already knew that too, yeah.
But Quantum Break will
that's the thing
be
that
the next one.
Microsoft need, though. You know, they need games again. Like I said,
they need a new Halo. They need a new Gears. They need a new.
That's what I said. Because
Shang Heist.
Again, going back to what I said at the beginning of the podcast, Microsoft needs more. They need more games in their portfolio. We get the Gears, we get the Halo, we get the Forza. Those are cemented, okay?
Yeah, they do.
That's why the Quantum Break, the Scalebound, all these little IPs are huge in the grand scheme of things because it opens up their portfolio, gives them a wider range of games. So here's the thing: that's how you appeal to the other console gamers, because they appeal to us with the major three, but you have to go outside, to get other guys to buy your console also, besides your install base, and they need other games like Scalebound. I hear Sony fans talk about that game all the time. Quantum Break, I hear fans talking about that all the time. But here you go. Well, maybe it might come to PC. Whether everybody got a most powerful game rate and what's on PC, but that's what they need.
4K TVs and 50.
Well, I have 3, you bastard. I have 3 in my house. I have one in my gaming, one in my bedroom.
Yeah.
But hey, man, fuck, I'm a violent coke dealer.
No, but if you look at what Microsoft is doing, they've brought out more AAA new IPs than anybody else. Because look, they put out Rise, and then they did Sunset Overdrive.
Oh,
and
they got stuck though. That's the
Titanfall,
question.
we
don't have that anymore.
Quantum Break,
Quantum Break,
Sea of Thieves, Scalebound. You know what I'm saying? They've got some. They've got some new IP.
We got Killer Instincts. You're right. We do have some more, but I want more. Am I greedy? I want fucking more.
But you know what they need?
Developers.
You know what they should do? Honestly, you know what they should do? Open their checkbook. Go to Sega. Sega has a bunch of gems that they're just sitting on. Buy their fucking Golden Axe.
Did somebody put Blaze and Phoenix in here?
Yeah. Keep an Xbox.
Keep an Xbox.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if they can buy a few IPs. To bust up their portfolio.
And I thought they would have bought the Darksiders IP when that was up for sale, but they didn't. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of shit. They could have bought. Microsoft could have bought Midway. Midway sold for $45 million.
They don't do that anymore. They buy
this was when did Midway get sold and Warner Brothers bought them? What, last generation? They got bought for $45 million. I mean, that means that fucking Mortal Kombat could have been a fucking exclusive. You know what I mean? Like some things they just don't do. They could have bought fucking Visual Concepts before they got sold to Take-Two for dirt cheap. I mean, NBA 2K could have been fucking exclusive and all that. Like, you know what I mean?
That was Bomber's era.
Yeah, some things they just don't do. Like, I don't understand it.
Big mistake was not getting BioWare, but that's the one that I really
got bought for $3. But again, you buy Rare for $350 million, but you won't buy BioWare for $350. You got to be shitting me. I mean, man, did you imagine Mass Effect only being on the Xbox One? God damn. Going down in the DM.
Well, knowing them now, I mean, they would probably just pimp it out to other consoles anyway.
Oh, shit. Scrap, you bastard.
Well, look, if you look at it, like Sony's picking up all the marketing rights to what's been known traditionally as Xbox console. They're appealing to the 360 gamers, what they're doing, right? They are. And it's working like a charm. Bravo to them. I guess
so
that's
whose job is that? Doing. Like if they can't do that next generation. Like I said before,
they'll get Mass Effect.
I heard they didn't, but I don't know. So
they're gonna get it. I remember people saying that was gonna be an Xbox exclusive.
But that's why I said,
gamer, come on.
But that's why I said to you guys, it seemed like we wanted more than Microsoft. All these great ideas that we got, they should do, and they're just sitting on their fucking hands.
Let's be honest. Right now, Sony's core business is PlayStation 4 is one of their biggest core business.
It's their only. It's the only thing that's making them any money, really. I mean,
we're one of the arm. It is what it is, but we're still getting treated good as gamers.
If I'm Microsoft, yeah, exactly, Tim. That's a great point. We are getting treated good as gamers. Look, if I'm Microsoft and I'm like, okay, look, we can invest $50 million into getting time maps on Call of Duty, right? We could do that. We could do that. I'm just saying, look, we could do that, right?
Yeah.
We could do that, but the game is going to sell regardless, and it did.
Yeah.
You know, oh hey, we're Microsoft. We could have spent $50 million on Destiny market, you know, and got that. But guess what? It was probably still going to sell more on PlayStation because there's more PlayStation 4s. Same thing with Fallout 4. That sold better on PlayStation 4.
Not in December, it didn't. Not in December, but you know, again, I think because it's both. Maybe it's not because it's a big install base on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I think again, if they would have put a sticker on the box, that would have sold because Fall. I didn't realize. You guys told me correct. I didn't realize it was that big of an IP because I can't stand them. So I don't care for the game. But they could have a lot of diehard, you know, Fallout fans that do own a PlayStation 4 would have went out and bought the Xbox One just for a Fallout 4 themed console. You know what I mean? Just
they don't do that. That annoys me. But if they don't have a fucking Minecraft,
I don't know why.
They don't have a Minecraft or something. They're like, how do you not have a Minecraft console? Like,
I don't know. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
That's the one I don't understand because
it's your game.
That's the type of thing that you released that during the holiday at a small scale.
Exactly.
With that.
Look, this is my favorite white boy, man. Exactly. Could you imagine a fucking Minecraft thing?
You're my favorite black guy. Well, I love Show too.
You racist motherfucker.
I love Show too.
But I'm just saying, you're right though. Could you imagine a Minecraft themed Xbox One on Black Friday for the like
why's it gotta be black?
I'm just saying, well, Black Friday, you know. But you understand what I'm saying? That would have sold at least 1 million units alone.
You sell that. You sell that just let's do it. Let's just plan for this year. You sell. Well, you could either do it two ways. You could sell that Minecraft the game digital download plus that fucking Telltale Games game with it.
Yeah, both of them.
$2.99 or $2.79, whatever. That's gonna do it. Now you have the option of doing a Minecraft where it's like a custom console. That too will sell, but you don't have to sell that during the holidays. You could sell that in fucking July.
I say do it during the holidays.
You could do it. Yeah, you could do both. But the
kids were asked for that mine, but you already have the mine. I want the Minecraft Xbox One. It make little Lego sounds or some shit. Forget about it. Give them a Minecraft controller. Like, forget about it. Like that's huge, man. Microsoft, they dropping the bus. What said? We have more passion and more ideas than they do. And I don't understand that, man. Like
sometimes it's money and sometimes it's.
They have more money this year than the Xbox One is far outselling their fucking 360 by far.
Well, yeah, but this is the.
You went out, crap. Hello.
He'll be back.
Oh shit. Hello.
No, I was gonna say this is the last year they could say that it's gonna outsell.
You think so?
You never know. You
never know.
It's gonna be tough.
The 360, the 360 picked up. I mean, Halo 3 just did unbelievable.
But we got Gears of War 4 this year, so all hope is not lost.
It'll hold off, but the 1 year I think it's 2011. They sold 50 million. That's Xbox never touching that.
Yeah, and you know why? Part of the reason was because they were competing with the PS2 for the first 2 years of the 360's life.
Yeah, they were.
And then that was when like 360 really picked up. It was like Halo. Gears
it picked up when
Gears
came out. When Gears came out in 06, so it got a little bump. And Halo 3 came out in 07.
And with Call of Duty 4 also helped a lot. I mean, that game just was unbelievable, just fantastic. I can't, it was like you had that double shot. Like within a year, you had Gears 1, Call of Duty 4, Halo 3, Forza, I think 3. 05.
I'm sorry, 05. No, Gears came out in 06. Halo 3 came out in 07.
Yep, so did Call of Duty 4.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that was, but you know what? I think Call of Duty 4 became more popular the year after that because that game continued to fucking sell.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
That's when I was, because it was new, it was fresh. The reason why I didn't like Call of Duty service because I got tired of them old school ass guns, like old ass salt.
They were doing World War II guns.
Yeah, I'm kind of fucking Texas T, the Beverly Hillbilly gun. You was going shit.
Now it's like I want them to go back to the modern or the old school.
No, they need to update that engine. You know what I mean? They
have. I mean, have you I'll say this. Black Ops 3, yeah, but Black Ops 3 looks phenomenal. I mean, the
I'm
game
not talking about graphics. Well, I'm just talking about what I mean by update the engine. Give us some destructible environments. You got these big ass guns. And, give us some.
I think that's hard to do if they want to keep 60 frames per second.
They do it on Battlefield. They do it on Battlefield.
Well, Battlefield was traditionally only 30 frames per second on the back in the day.
The bottom line is you didn't get the next gen jump, and we all didn't that you really want. We're on a half a fucking console jump. And that's
what I said last episode, that we haven't got that first
must-have game.
I don't think we might not get it. Quantum Break is that game. Quantum Break, Scalebound is something new. It's something fresh. You know what I mean?
But you're not getting that generational leap that you had from the 16 to 32-bit to 8 to 16.
You know why? Because
it's just same shit.
You know what? Because in the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, that was the first time I was going to HD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, oh shit, blew our mind. I'm looking for you playing. I was buying everything. Shit, I wouldn't even play because that was those fucking graphics. You know what I mean? And this generation, we're already used to 1080p and this, that. That's what I said. Next year, we got to get 4K. You know what I mean? Because even right now in the market, 4K, the TVs are cheap as fuck. But 4K
to me, it's not even about the resolution, because I'll be honest with you, I picked up.
It's beautiful. I
know, but look, I picked up Infamous First Light on PS4. It was on sale, right? It's like the standalone DLC. I was playing it, open world game, and it looks good, but it's lacking on things like the detail. The NPCs are stupid. There's not a lot of them around. In fact, in the opening thing, there's no like people at all. There's a couple cops chasing you or whatever at the beginning, and I'm like, okay. And basically, look, and the reason why I got on that game was because my achievements weren't unlocking on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Like there was some kind of issue, so I was like, fuck this, I'm not going to play if my achievements are just going to say unlocking and not unlock. So I hopped on the PS4, right? But coming from Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is a big open world game, only 900p, but the detail, it looks so much better than Infamous, and the NPCs, that world is fucking alive. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It's huge, and that world is alive. That's what I wanted. That's what we need. Not that forced 1080p stuff, because that's just marketing. It's not that even. That has nothing to do with that.
But it should be standard, though. I mean,
no, I don't care. I mean, look, who cares? Battlefront, probably the best looking game.
It is.
I would say, man, there's nobody in their right mind that would be able to say what resolution that game is.
No, because no one has a 720. Well, I don't know what I'm saying, but everything's. No one has a 900p TV. All of them are upscale. I get that, you know what I mean, but there's some things should just be there day one, and that's one of the stuff that Microsoft did.
I don't think they thought it was a thing.
But it's called covering your ass.
Every
generation, your competitor can do it and you can't do it. It's a problem.
Every generation brings a new level, a new threshold to hit.
There you go.
But look, let's say this. Look, Sony's been 2 steps ahead of them this generation, right from the beginning. Microsoft thought Sony was coming out with a console with 4 gigs of memory. Microsoft. It's
not only the RAM. It's not the RAM. It's the issue. It's the GPU.
Well, hold on. If Microsoft thought that Sony was coming out with their console that only had 4 gigs of memory,
the RAM is not the issue, bro.
It would have, though. Just imagine. Say they would have come out with a 4 gig memory PS4, right? Xbox One would be shitting all over it.
It's not. But again, it's not the RAM that determines. It's the buffer. It's the GPU. The Xbox has extremely anemic GPU. It's not the fact that the the Xbox One has DDR3, because that multitasking that we're doing and stuff, that
well, that's not even talked about. But you know what? That is cool.
That's why they went with DDR3. And I'm gonna say this again: DDR5 RAM is great for your GPU, but it takes a hit on your CPU. It causes latency.
We all know the PS4 has a super shitty CPU.
I mean, that's their bottleneck. You know what I mean? Because,
that's why you don't see NPCs and stuff in the games.
But even when
they share the same CPU, but Xbox is clocked faster.
Like look. Right. Even the developer from DICE said, you can't even really use more than 6 gigs of RAM anyway, because it gets pulled away.
Overall, the computer.
It's not the RAM issue. I mean, the chipset, the chips that went that motherfucker. Like, I don't
But they still thought that they were going to have a more powerful console.
They thought they were going to have 8 gigs and Sony.
And that would have been something that they could have patted themselves on the back.
Where you could get media gaga stories about.
Okay, you got 8 gigs. Do like this. You got 8 gigs. 3 gigs are allocated, but they only use about 5 for games, regardless.
Yeah.
And 4 for games. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, just imagine the PS4 would only use 2 at that point.
But if you look at prime example, you look at the basic specs for games releasing on PC, the minimum is 2 gigs of RAM. That's not the issue. It's the GPU. That's the fucking issue. They have an anemic GPU in that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Prime example, you can have
what are you gonna do? You want to fucking? It is what it is. You're
yeah,
gonna have to
your
live
ass.
with
I don't know what that was the issue. You know, what I mean, you can have a Titan and have 6 gigs of RAM. The RAM is not the problem. It's the GPU. That's give
Yeah,
your
but some
graphics.
games like some games like Fallout or games with open worlds, if it had 4 gigabits and Xbox had 8, you'd see some serious.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Gains.
We're not looking at the whole story here. We're only looking at the end result. The initial story that I heard was that Sony was not going to put the GDDR5 in. They were only going to use 4 gigs of RAM. Microsoft was really sitting pretty, saying we are going to kick their ass. Last minute, they changed everything. They decided to up their RAM. They had to because they knew. But they knew they didn't have any games coming, so they couldn't.
Microsoft couldn't switch course either.
Microsoft couldn't switch at that time.
I mean, I was like this before those we knew they announced those. Well, again, I mean, they knew before those consoles come out. They already knew. You got your biggest competitor is going to be able. They knew what that box right there.
They fucked up.
Here's the thing. They knew what that box right there. Regardless of what RAM Sony, they knew that they couldn't do 1080p. You know, as you know, what I mean, it was an issue. You know what I mean, I'm just saying, cover your ass.
Well, listen. The bottom line is they
still knew that their biggest competitor had a more powerful GPU.
Yeah, but the thing is they weren't there at that point. They were Kinect focused, and unfortunately, and I was in the thing.
Hey, man, you had a meltdown, Tim. Remember that shit? That fucking
when it hit 720p.
Tim was going to fuck off on
because I knew at that point. I knew at that point that it was going to be a problem all gen. That's
let me just say this, and it'll continue to be a problem. I mean, we're going to see. Look, Plants vs. Zombies: Garden Warfare 2. That's already a problem. It's not 1080p on Xbox One. You know.
Right. Division 900p.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's going to continue to be a problem. But look, the narrative changes to suit Sony, and the media backs that. So you're going to have to remember that. Next gen, you could just assume. I'm saying next generation. You can assume Microsoft go, okay, well, we're going to need a real beefy console, and it's going to be able to do 4K and this.
Yes.
And then Sony is going to come. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying Microsoft can.
It can all switch. It can switch around.
They can't. Again, you can't base your model.
Game is not about resolution. Imagine that. Imagine that whole thing flip flopped, and then the media fucking went to that narrative like it didn't matter.
Yeah, what I'm saying. With next generation again. Well, here's the thing. What they have to do is, your biggest competitor is Sony. Fuck Nintendo. Your biggest competitor is Sony. Just make sure there's nothing that their PlayStation 5 can do that your box can't do, and make sure your box can do more. That's all they have to do. Fuck everything else. Resolution.
Well, the reason why
there's nothing that a box can do that your can't do.
I think the reason why is because it's pretty much known Xbox Live is better, even though it has.
We know that.
We know Xbox Live is better. Okay.
Yes, we know that.
We know that that the controller is the Elite is better. I mean, I would take but the Elite's going to be probably better than what they have unless they go down that route and they go the Elite. The community, I mean, Xbox is a big community base. It's a good community.
More social.
It's very social.
Very social.
So if they had the power on their side where they didn't have these glorified articles, 1080p, 900p, Xbox underwhelming, this and that. If they didn't have that, even now they would be doing a lot better because everything else pretty much it does slant towards Xbox. You look at the preview. We're getting a preview next week. When's the last time Sony guys have gotten news like? I'm pumped up for next week because we're gonna get.
What's next week?
We're gonna be in a preview. We're getting a preview next week. We're gonna get news. We're gonna get more backward compatibility games. This is the type of thing that Xbox has been doing that I don't really see anybody else doing. They're pushing the envelope. We're going to get an update. What is it going to be? Who knows? But it's going to be some cool stuff. Guess what? Next month, it's going to be the same thing. You know, and there's other companies that they're asking for simple features, and it's like, you know, you're in a cave. Nobody's listening to you. So, you know, it is.
Hey Tim, is that a new logo that you have?
Yes, Deanna made that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I told him I appreciate it.
Yeah, that is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is nice. Hey, but also Jay Williams does some pretty good work too, guys. Am I right?
Shout out to Jay, the graphics guy.
Yeah.
Deanna's my. I know Jay's great and very talented, but Deanna is my boy. He's a great guy in the community, and he does unbelievable work too. So, and there's a lot of guys.
Southbound's in here?
Yeah, he's been fucking.
He asked me for a link to it because he said his internet was bad and he
I
couldn't
didn't know he was in here.
watch
No,
the
talking.
stream.
Shout out to my boy South. I didn't know he was in here.
Yeah.
I
don't think he's got his stuff hooked up. I think he's just
he got shit connection. He got that 5. Hello.
8:30.
Welcome to AOL. He got the AOL shit. Hello.
What's up, fellas?
What's up? There you go. What's up? Hey, Southbound. What's going on? Chime in.
What up? Nah, I had my mic muted. I didn't want to interrupt you guys. You guys are on a roll. See y'all posting up in the back. Just kind of stalking.
You sound crazy.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like.
I wish.
Yeah, that's how it sounds. Let me ask you a question.
Hey, I'm just listening to you guys. You know what I mean? Post it up. I'm on my phone.
Let me ask you a question, Sal. Now, all right, I've gotten Mooch's opinion and Crab's and Tim's. What do you think Microsoft needs to do next generation to nail it, to knock it out of the park?
We already know it's going to be a monster. We already know they're going to put a hell of a fucking console together. Okay. Honestly, they need to keep us in mind first. They need to, like, I think my brother Rand put it best the other day on Mooch's podcast. They need to get the YouTubers. They need to put us first and make sure that we're happy, because really, like, I think even Mooch said it the other day, IGN, GameSpot, all these fucking whack ass websites and all that shit, they're the past. Us as a community, we're the voice of Xbox now. Mm-hmm. We're the one that's pushing our rhetoric forward.
Right.
So they got to make sure that we're happy first and foremost. You know,
so what will make you happy?
Really, I mean, we're advertising.
Free advertising.
You guys every Sunday. It's not even about codes. It's not. They need to make sure, as you know, they're happy. You know, they come talk to us. Meet us halfway.
Yeah.
What you're saying is they gotta get people like Brad Brad and Boogie and all those people and Angry Joe back on board, right?
Well, to a certain point. To a certain point they do.
But I'm saying
all YouTube.
But again, so you're saying, but what would you like to see standard? I say, all right, but besides them pandering to us, what would you like to see standard inside the box?
You mean inside the box? It have to be at least a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
1 terabyte. I say more than one. We need at least 2.
At least. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. At least it has to be like something that we're just. Look, at 500 gigabytes was I used that in like 2 months.
Yeah, that's shit. Hard drives are cheap.
I mean, how quick did everybody use up their hard drive?
Yeah, quick. Yeah. I mean,
you know, because you can't forget about physical media. Like Crap said, you can't forget about the discs. You know, you're gonna lose all the brick and mortar, mom and pop shops. They're gonna be pissed off at you, so you can't lose that. But a lot of people are going for digital copies now, and they need their hard drive space.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's right. But his point about the YouTube is an excellent point. They definitely have to embed themselves with this type of community, because really, we are the ones, especially, even everyone on this channel, and there's a lot of Xbox, the podcasts and YouTubes, we're the one that's pushing the rhetoric, because the media is not. They're pushing other shit. They're pushing.
Hey, I mean, how many of you guys like me get like that? How many of you guys like me get that tweet or that message on Xbox Live? Hey, man, I listen to you guys. I bought an Xbox One because of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get that every day.
I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot.
We get, like I said, this community is growing. Like I said today, we do hold some weight here. Like I said, that Cole, he doesn't like the console bullshit. It sells consoles. And this has been going on since the days of Atari and the ColecoVision. Everyone likes to validate their purchase. We get that, but
dude, if it was true that they didn't like us or whatever, then they wouldn't associate with us. And Phil and Aaron and all those people do.
But
they might not like.
No, even they didn't. Crap. I don't do it for Aaron. I do it because
I agree.
Even they say, I despise. I like the Xbox or whatever. I'm still going to do what I do. You know what I mean? But but at the end of the day, their next console, they can't. All they have to do, in the grand scheme of things, is make sure your biggest competitor is Sony. Make sure that boss can't do nothing that your boss can't do, and 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 offer still what you're doing, better
Don't
features.
give them
going
any
on.
ammo. Don't
Yeah,
give Sony any
just
ammo.
cover your ass. Like that 1080p is a very old format. It's nothing new. That should have been standard. Like just being honest, it's a very old format. Very. It's not. And 1080p has been out
You
for a
know
while.
what? If you don't mind me chiming in,
Yeah,
you asked earlier what everybody thought was their biggest mistake coming out the box in 2013.
Yeah, good point.
Honestly, I thought it was the price point.
Yeah, a lot of people said that.
Because nothing got bigger pops when Sony did their press conference after Xbox announced the Xbox One. As soon as they announced that it was $100 cheaper, that's when everybody went fucking bananas.
Yeah, that was a good point.
It wasn't about the Kinect $100 more. Everybody was like, well, there goes my purchase.
Hey,
because they thought of value.
And Sal, just to reiterate that a little bit, when I watched that podcast where Peter Moore and Phil Spencer and Seamus Blackley were on there, and they said the same thing happened to them when the PS3 price point was announced at $599.
Yeah, I remember how happy they were when
they said they went backstage and were giving high fives and shit. Yeah.
But that is a good point.
Why would they? They should have said, you know what? They should have came back next week and be like, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna go the same price point.
Or cheaper. Take the Kinect out of the box, $150 for the Kinect, a standalone. If you want to buy it together, $500. That's a no-brainer. And plus, they didn't have any software that justify us paying $500 for the actual console. You're absolutely right. And then after that, I didn't forget all about the $500. Then after that, I say the resolution thing. But if they came out $350, that's what I'm talking about. Wheels should have been turning. They should have took the Kinect once they went back on the whole DRM thing. Once they took the Kinect out, when you didn't need the Kinect, the extra running system, whatever. They should have took the Kinect out of the box and sold it standalone for $150 and put the Xbox One at $350. And that would have happened. I think this would have been a whole new different console race.
I think if it would have came out and the price was the same, you wouldn't have had a conversation about resolution and all that other shit. Because
they were selling the Kinect standalone for $150. So even if they would have had it,
but see, and also you can't really blame, have to put the blame squarely on Don Matrick, because all the engineers and everything, they made it seem like you couldn't have an Xbox One without the Kinect. Because I remember talking to one of the engineers, and he's one of the guys that they say he was the father of Xbox Live or whatever. Remember, he left like last year? I was talking to him, and he was like, yeah, there's just no way the Xbox Live can run, on the Xbox One without the Kinect, because it's so dependent on it. Well, here then 6 months later, they threw the fucking Kinect out of the box. So I think it was a little bit more dragging the feet on both sides. It wasn't. You can't really put the blame squarely on like Aaron Greenberg or Phil Spencer.
But they did the whole. I mean, because that's when it was all built on DRM. They changed the whole interface of the thing. I mean, that when they did that, when they went back on what when they said they couldn't do with the whole not even used games, but the whole remember before all you had to do was put the disc in and download. You never needed the disc again. I liked it all that. All that shit was cool. Once they went back on that, they should have took the out of the box. That was the biggest backlash. You got us paying for something that we don't even want. You know what I mean? That the Kinect left a bad taste with people. A lot of gamers last generation. That whole motion gaming, we went past that shit already. It was over and done with. You know what I mean?
The funny thing is, like Mooch and I have this conversation a lot, and I love my Kinect. I use it all the time.
I do too.
And I know Mooch does as well.
Yeah. I think we all do. You know what
I mean? I don't know how many times I've watched your videos. And you're like, Xbox sign in to Zaire. You know what I mean? So I know you use it a lot. It's a great feature. As for the movement game, I think that was a far gone thing in the history in the past. But voice control and everything else with the Kinect, I think is still valuable, and it still should be
use it on the phone.
The next Xbox.
People are used to it on their phones, and so it's commonplace now. People use that kind of stuff in their cars. Siri or Cortana or whatever.
Yeah, I don't want them to get rid of that. You know what I mean? I hope they don't get rid of Upload Studios. I think I don't want them to take away anything from this Xbox One. Only add on to it. Don't take away. That's another issue. When the Xbox One launched, it was things that 360 was able to do that the Xbox One couldn't do. You understand what I'm saying?
Still, to this day.
You know, and
Well, yeah, like background music. People are still clamoring for background music.
I don't know. I don't see what's so hard about that. Like I'm not an engineer, but you know, I don't see what's so hard about that. You know, but you know, little things like
there has
that.
to be something there has to be something because of the snap state. They have to. They're probably working around it, but they're gonna get it.
I also think
It's because every goddamn thing's an
priority.
app. Everything's an app on that thing. Why? Why do that?
Why
You go
does-
back.
Six?
Yeah, you go on the 360, right? Like if you were playing Forza, you can have your background music cranking because let's face it, unless it's Forza Horizon, like Motorsport doesn't have the best music. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You want to hear something to jam to, you know? So it's like that makes sense to me. And it's like you know, the 360 still has like a super smooth interface, and you can get the shit really easily. Well, you know, push the button and you can just see it back and this and that. And, you know, it moves so much better than the Xbox One because everything's an app, and that's why even the achievements are an app, and that's why they fuck up sometimes.
I mean, it's the same thing on the PlayStation.
Well, yeah, the achievements they really dropped the ball on.
But it's the same thing on the PlayStation.
You can't get
4.
offline achievements now. That's bullshit.
You can't?
No.
You can't get
No,
offline.
you can't get offline.
It's
Like
an
right
app.
here, while I'm in the black hole, fucking in West Virginia right now, I can go play, you know, 5-10 games in a row, and I wouldn't get one fucking achievement until I got it online. Then they'd start on
again, but I mean, it's the same way as the PlayStation 4. They're apps, and again, I think that's due because it's x86, because it's the same thing with the PlayStation 4.
That was the worst idea ever. Hey, let's fucking tie your achievements to the online thing, you know? It's like,
Oh, so we don't. Oh, I didn't know that. You know.
yeah.
You know, but I mean, I guess.
Well, I know they did
can't just push
partially.
a
They
button.
did partially, so people.
I didn't. You know, I never. You know why? I didn't know
I
that
think they did
because I'm always online.
Last generation.
Oh, this guy had some guy named Daryl in the comment section. You can't wait for one of those Xbox to suck his dick. What type of weird shit you into, bro? Small fuckers in the comment section is crazy, man. You can't wait for one of us to suck.
Man.
You can't wait for one of us to suck his dick. That's what you got your grandmother for, right? The fuck, the bitch ain't got no teeth. Fuck. Yeah, but I guess, but that's about it. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's about it. Mooch is hounding me. He's like, dude,
Mooch is
Yahtzee,
dying.
10 o'clock, come on.
It was a good show today. Good conversation, man.
I talk for a living, and then Sundays we're just so now with family coming over on Sundays. I'm talking even more on Sundays, so it's like holy shit.
Fucking developers.
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 What are you having, a pasta dinner on Sundays, Mooch?
You already know, man. I told you I'm old school. I'm 100% Italian, but I'm all
Some
American.
vino and the fucking pasta mangia. I love it.
I like Southbound does a hell of a fucking Italian impression. I'll give him that. I gotta give him that.
So anyway, we got appreciate you guys for joining us. We had 450 here earlier.
That's impressive.
Is that
No
the most
shit.
ever?
I don't know.
Hey, it's all because I was sitting here listening.
Yeah, we had Southbound in here like in the corner with his mic muted the whole time. So yeah,
I was hella creeper.
No, I didn't even know he was in here. Just MLG Sal was in here. What's up?
yeah, he messaged me. He's like, man, can I just sit in? He's like, I won't say anything.
Oh, you can son. I mean, like you want us, bro. You motherfucking
No,
dude, man.
you know, I didn't want to side bus or anything, but my internet sucks so bad. I have satellite internet here, so you know, like I was listening on YouTube, and it'll be like Crap saying, yeah, and then Xbox. And then Tim's like, yeah, and the fucking developers, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I can't watch. So I was, so I DM Crap, please let me just sit in. I don't even say nothing. I just want to hear you guys. I'm so bored out here.
Yeah.
All right, no problem, guys. We'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks, guys, for letting me sit here. I appreciate it.
Love you.